welcome to Berean Babes Being the Know. I'm your host, Valley Chikuni. We begin the SBC. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Ezell, who is the president of North American Mission Board. This is another entity of SBC. Needless to say, they also have their issues in court with Will McLean. But this time around, according to Tom Back, who is the senior pastor of Lindell Baptist in Texas, who is at the center of the Backgate, just reported out that Kevin Ezell has a letter that he is circulating behind Tom Back's back. This letter, apparently, according to Tom Back, he doesn't even remember writing this letter. So this is a letter recommendation that Tom Back wrote for Jeff. Okay, Jeff is the one who is at the center of the Deacon Gate. So Kevin Ezell is circulating this letter, basically implying that Tom Back ratted out Jeff with a sexual, or him being a sexual predator. Why would he do that now? Which means it was political. If Tom Back believed that Jeff was not credible, why would he write a nice letter of recommendation? So Tom Back wrote a recommendation letter for Jeff, something to do with adoption. So according to Tom Back, he wrote that letter because at the time he believed that Jeff was repentant and there's no need for him to be not to have written the letter because he deserves to be a father, so to speak. So according to Tom Back, he does not remember, but he reached out to Kevin Ezell, and Kevin Ezell has not responded back to him. So this is another story, blackmail, whatever you want to. I don't know what gate should we give it. This is the Kevin Ezell gate. Okay, Kevin Ezell gate. And mixing with the Backgate, Kevin Ezell gate, Backgate, Karen gate, Baumgardner gate, okay, and the Deacon gate. So imperative hashtag that change the direction is very much needed inside the SBC. Moving on, we do have Kwon, who is a senior pastor at Grace Meredith Hill Church. It's a PC church. Kwon, he's a bigwigs. He's also one of the author of TGC. According to him, and I quote, our already fractured, resentful, polarized, exhausted nation cannot handle this. Okay? This is Kwon tweeted out. And yes, he deleted this tweet because he received a backlash. So he's tweeting out this in the wake of this Roe v. Wade. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it that we don't need the story about Roe v. Wade to be overturned? Because according to him, we already have a fractured nation. People are exhausted. Nobody can handle this. Does that make sense to you? Coming from a pastor. Why every Christian right now should be celebrating that Roe v. Wade is going to be overturned. I see no reason why anybody shouldn't be celebrating. It is a good news. Let's be honest, it is a good news. So I'm very suspicious. People who profess to be Christians who are not happy that Roe v. Wade is going to be overturned. So yes, Kwon has joined in the ranks of Karen Swallow Prime. And oh yes, Kwon decided to respond. According to him, after he received this backlash, he responded that he doesn't have time or energy to be responding. So he deleted the tweet. As you know, these days you cannot delete anything. So this is exactly what's coming from Kwon. This is a guy who also wrote a book in support of reparations. So he does believe in reparations. So that should tell you more about Kwon, an elder, a Presbyterian. So Elder Kwon, okay? My apologies. He's an elder, so he needs to be addressed as such. I apologize for that. Moving on, we do have a United Church of Christ in Manitoba. This is the Church United in Winnipeg, Manitoba. The elders of this church voted out to be to carry out a legalized government-sanctioned medical murder. Okay, so a lady, what's her name? I didn't write her name down. I didn't write her name down. But anyway, there's a lady, she's a senior lady, who had myotrophic lateral sclerosis, okay? And she decided that she wanted to die. So her family, her children, as well as her grandkids were present. So they carried out, she was brought in a stretcher in the church, and they were singing hymns. Amazing Grace was one of the songs as she, as they call it, transition. So yes, I've never heard about this. I know that people, you know, euthanasia, it goes on in other countries, but to be carrying out this event in the church and while people are singing hymns, make that what you will, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Antifa pro-abortion people in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon, have vandalized churches and pregnancy center, pro-life pregnancy centers. They have vandalized in the wake of this news of Roe v. Wade. I don't understand, like, why would you go to pregnancy centers and vandalize churches, ladies and gentlemen? So this is the perversion that we're experiencing in our country right now. Okay, if you've woken up by now, I'm sure you've heard the reports that Kevin Samuels has passed away. This is one of the influencers. I never follow him that much, but to my knowledge, everything that he put out there, there's people who liked his stuff and there's people who pretty much hated his stuff. But the bottom line is he wasn't holding to a true biblical worldview. So he died at the age of 56. This guy had everything going on for him. Always wear very expensive suits. By all accounts, he had arrived. So dying at 56 age, and people are celebrating. I don't think it's a good thing to be celebrating when somebody has died, because right now he's face to face with his maker. So everything that I know, how he lived his life, I didn't see anything that professes to be a true believer of Christ, but I cannot pronounce judgment on anybody. That is between him and his maker right now that he has already faced. But the reason why I bring this up, like, let's use this opportunity to use this to evangelize, okay? We know Russell Moore is telling us not to be involved in the culture wars. Ladies and gentlemen, don't buy into that. So there's people on Twitter celebrating his death of Kevin Samuels. So this could be a question like, okay, you are celebrating about Kevin Samuels, right? You know that you're also going to die one day, right? What do you think is going to happen to you when you die? That's a very good point for us to use this opportunity to have gospel conversation with our brothers and sisters who don't profess Jesus Christ to be their Lord and Savior. Moving on, we do have Jury Royce, okay? I think by now, I don't know if people are tired about Jury Royce, but stuff keeps coming. Okay, so where are we right now, okay? Jury Royce. Jury Royce was mixed up with a lady, her name is Megan. So all the reports out there, Megan, she's not credible. She has a criminal charge against her. She's been reporting, stuff that's not true. So that has been proven that the things that she had said, that she had dig up about Jury Royce was not true. Okay? However, Jury Royce has also mixed up the timeline, how long she's known Megan, and how long it took her to bring out this information that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, watch out on Megan, okay? She didn't do that. So Jury Royce has come out now to raise the alarm, to sound the alarm that Megan cannot be trusted after David Morrow was planning to put out an article about Jury Royce with the things that she had heard from Megan. But Meghan did not put, David Morrow didn't put out that article because he realized that Meghan was not credible, and she is a troubled young girl. She is a troubled young girl who definitely needs help. Okay, who definitely needs help. So David Morrow didn't put that out. But Julie Royce did not want to warn anybody. Even David Morrow, she didn't think that it was incumbent upon her as an investigative journalist, as somebody who is restoring the church, to warn people about Meghan. So now, because people have listened to some of the stuff that Meghan has been putting out, now Julie Royce is playing the victim, that her name has been slandered, that people are telling these stories about Julie Royce. But Julie Royce had information about Meghan long before all this happened, but she did not care to write anything on her Julie Royce report or anything on her Twitter. But now, because the water is on the floor, now she wants to cry wolf. Now she wants to play a victim. And if that is not well, look at the pattern. She found herself involved with Meghan for quite some time, a young girl, okay? So once she served the purpose, whatever Julie wanted to get from Meghan, which she did, by the way, she awarded her a scholarship to go to her conference. Now that Meghan has proven to be not useful to her, she revoked that that scholarship and told Meghan that she need to apologize. She need to delete her tweet after the story had already gone out there. I don't know if you guys are catching the pattern over here. She found herself endearing to that young girl, Sarah, now endearing herself to Meghan. And she blamed Sarah when the book came out. And the book, she received all these reviews. She decided to blame Sarah. Now she's blaming Meghan. She is playing herself once again as a victim. Listen to what I'm saying. Yes, Meghan, she's wrong. She's not to be trusted. And that has been proven. She is a young girl who is very much troubled, who does actually do need help. According to Julie, Sarah also needed help, came to the rescue. Ended up being a victim. But anyway, Julie Royce also reported that she has taken her book out, but her book is still available on her Facebook page. You go to her Facebook page, her book is still available. She printed out a statement issuing apology. That apology is nowhere to be found on her website. So, all this to say, be careful with Julie Royce, especially whenever she writes all these things. There's always something there. So I'm sure by now you've seen it. Her book has proven that to be as such. Yes, it is true that the stuff that Meghan said about Julie was not true. But yes, it is also true that Julie befriended Meghan, knew about Meghan, benefited from Meghan until it wasn't beneficial to her. So now Julie Royce is crying out that her name is being slandered and everything else, while she knew the information about Meghan, but she did not see the need to share that with anybody else. So take heed, you've been warned. Moving on, we do have our pastor, Brandan Robertson, okay? Finally, he was able to, he had the debate with Allie Beth Stuckey. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing, it didn't go well for our pastor, okay? It didn't go well for our pastor. So, this is, according to Brandan Robertson, okay? Life begins at viability. When you ask him, so when does that viability come about? According to him, is 20 weeks. When asked to cite science sources and everything, there was nothing that Brandan Robertson was able to cite. What he was able to cite was CDC. But, well, take that what you will with CDC. Robert Branderson professes to be a theologian, a pastor. According to him, Roe v. Wade should not be overturned because it's going to be, it's not good for women. It's not good for rights of the women. And according to Brandan Robertson, who believes what we need is sexual education. We need contraceptives. Women need contraceptives. this issue should not, we're just making it to be emotion. So he has learned this by speaking to his congregation. Okay? So Brandan Robertson did not cite a single scripture to back up his position, even though he said that it was biblical. According to him, it's an ancient tradition. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I encourage you guys to watch this. You can actually see it for yourself, okay? Life begins at conception, not at viability. So, we know that's very subjective. Everybody knows that, okay? So if you say that, okay, and he kept saying like, potential life. So when asked, when does potential life begin? No answer. No answer at all. It was bad. It was horrible. There is no reason for pro-choice. None whatsoever. It does not exist. You know why? Because God is the author of life. God is the one who decides when life begins and when life ends. So when we play God by ending that life, this is exactly where we find ourselves to be. A 2-year-old cannot survive by himself or herself. They are dependent on their parents. They need to be fed. They need to be taken care of. We already know that. So should we kill our children because they cannot survive on themselves? Obviously not. We have senior people in senior homes. They cannot take care of themselves. They're depending on other people to take care of them. Should we kill them? Of course not. So there is no reason to back up abortion. Abortion is murder. So if you're a Christian and you believe that God has said thou shalt not murder, you should be against abortion. There are no two ways about it. It doesn't matter if people are in poverty. It doesn't matter if people have been raped. It doesn't matter if it incest. Whatever else you want to put in that basket. Thou shalt not murder. That's why we know when people have a miscarriage, we understand what that means. You know, it's just something that happens. They had no control over that, so to speak, right? But if you go out there and you pay an assassin to kill your child and you want to call that a healthcare, ladies and gentlemen, it is not healthcare. And yes, we do have the corporations who have joined in. Amazon, Uber, Yep, and Citigroup. Now they're going to be offering their employees financial assistance to go to another state to go and kill their children should they need so. Amazon is offering up to a $4,000 non-life-threatening situation. So if your state has banned abortion, you can just get your $4,000 check from Amazon, go to the next state and go and commit murder and go and kill your children. Judgment has befallen us. But what is so heartbreaking, what is so embarrassing, it's one thing people who don't profess Christ to be clapping, to be worried about this Roe v. Wade, but it's very shameful for people who profess to be Christians like Brandan Robertson to be supporting abortion. So if Brandan Robertson sounds the same as the Reverend Warnock and sounding the same as Elizabeth Warren, what else is left? So mark and avoid these people. Yes, we need to pray for them to repent and believe the gospel so they can be saved. Because this is evil of the highest order. Evil of the highest order. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in closing, to our favorite prophetess, okay? None other than the pink-haired lady, okay? The pink lady, Kerr. According to her, Superman, Kevin Reeve is in heaven, okay? Is in heaven. And when you get to heaven, you have to learn to fly. So you have to stand in line so you can be taught. So that's where the Superman is using his gifts and talent right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it can be something else, but I didn't think that it is to this level whereby the first Superman is in heaven right now. So when you get to heaven, you're going to be taught how to fly, you know, get your wings on and everything. You're gonna be told by the first Superman, okay? Reeves, right? Reeves. Yeah, so Reeves is in heaven right now teaching people how to spread their wings, according to prophetess Kerr. But before that guy died, he said that he tried to pray and it didn't work. He died and he didn't have any connection, any relationship with God. So, but according to Kerr, she saw him in heaven teaching some flying lessons to people. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you make it to heaven, you're gonna have your wings and you're gonna be taught how to fly. Okay, so but and Kerr said that you have to stand in line. You have to stand in line to get your lessons. Okay, yeah, to get your lessons. So before you learn to spread your wings, you need some lessons, according to prophetess Kerr. That's what's going on in heaven. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you find this to be informative to you. That's all I had for you guys today. More coming this week. Stay tuned. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bereans Babe. Until next time, remember to be in the know.